If you feel like you make decent money but somehow have no idea where it goes, this is exactly how I make our monthly budget. I literally just use notebook paper, a pen, and some highlighters, nothing fancy. I'm gonna show you how I figure out our bills, organize our debt, and decide how much we can put toward debt, and then break down the entire month paycheck by paycheck. So step one, you're gonna write down your monthly income, not your gross or whatever before taxes, whatever that's called. You're gonna put what actually hits your bank account. For us, I'm budgeting around $8,400 a month. If your income changes every month, use a realistic lower estimate. Like, I'd rather budget with less money and end up with extra than budget with money that I don't have that never shows up. So you're gonna write down every single bill that you pay and the date that it's due. So I'm writing down mortgage, vehicles, insurance, electric, water, phone, subscriptions, literally everything. So our regular bills total to be around $3,850 a month. And this is where you also find the little subscriptions you've forgotten about. $10 or $15 doesn't sound like much until you have 10 of them. You'll be able to swindle those down. Like, when I did this, I saw that I'm still paying $10 a month for Peacock and we don't even watch it. So I canceled it. And then there's subscriptions to like Paramount Plus. We only use that when Landman's on. So I canceled it and I'll turn it back on when Landman comes back. Shit like that. Real easy to cut it out. Okay, so then you're going to switch to your credit cards page. You're going to make a page just for your credit cards. Write down every single credit card, the total balance of what you owe to pay off, the minimum payment, and the due date of your minimum payment. Our credit card minimum payments total to be around $589 a month. So I add that to our regular bills, which brings the monthly amount of things we're paying for to $4,440. I'll show you. Girl, will you quit? So here's what we're paying a month in minimum credit card payments. And those look like tiny little payments, but when you add those all up, that's $589 a month. And then this is just my monthly bills and subscriptions, which, as you can see, $3,850 a month. That's a lot of money. I like seeing the balances together so I know exactly what we're dealing with here, instead of just making random payments every month and hoping for the best. I'm a very visual person, and just seeing it all spread out in front of me, which is now crumbled up because my wiener dogs have punctured it to death. It just really helps to see it. So I subtract the things that aren't technically bills, but we still have to live, like groceries and gasoline for our cars. So I budget around $800 for groceries every month and around $240 for gas. So that total is $1,040. Do I think we spend that much a month on groceries and gas? No. But I would rather budget out to spend more and have money left over than budget under and take away from my savings. So you're going to give your leftover money a job. Every dollar needs to have a job. And that might sound funny, but this is probably the biggest thing that changed budgeting for me. Don't just look at the leftover money and think, okay, we have extra money this month. Give the money a job before the month starts so that you're not likely to just go spend it and blow it at TJ Maxx or the mall or Goodwill, wherever you like to shop. For us, paying off the debt is a priority, and I'm deciding ahead of time how much is going toward our tax debt and how much is going towards credit cards. If I don't assign that money to somewhere, I promise you I'm going to find somewhere to spend it. Now, you're going to break down your money paycheck by paycheck. That's this page, my prettiest little colorful page. This is the part that makes the whole budget actually work for me. Knowing that you have enough money for the month doesn't necessarily mean that you have enough money sitting and checking when a bill is due, right? So I write down every payday for the month. Then I look at which bills are due before the next payday and assign those bills to that check. This check pays these bills. This check covers these. This check covers the mortgage. I also decide which paycheck is paying for each grocery trip. Like one week I have a grocery budget of $50. The next week it's $100. The next is $200. And then I have a Sam's Club end of the month bigger budget of $300 that will help get us into the next month where the first week budget is $50. So that way I'm not getting through the month and I'm wondering why we have $300 left when we still have a $1,200 mortgage come out. I also have the amount that I don't personally want our checking account to drop below, which is $1,000. That doesn't mean that the $1,000 is spending money. In my head, there's no money in the bank account. I also keep a balance in my savings account that I don't want to touch. That amount grows by $100 every month. I know that's not a lot, but I'm trying to pay off debt, right? So for August, my savings account do not touch budget or balance is $1,500. I also like to have that money there just in case I get a higher bill than is expected, or something bad happens and your washing machine blows up or breaks, or your microwave blows up, or your fridge quits working. This is literally everything that's happened to me over the past 5 years, by the way. So I like to have money in savings in case that stuff continues to happen to me, instead of reaching for a credit card. So when you're in a week budget time frame, so say you've got $1,200 for your budget this week. Once your bills come out and you've got $400 left over, once all of those bills are accounted for and come out of the checking account, I take what's left apart from the $1,000 and I move it to the savings account. And that's when I pretend that money doesn't exist anymore. I gave it a job, and its job is going to come at the end of the month. So this month my goal is $3,200 towards debt. I want to pay $1,200 to our taxes and $200 or $2,000 to credit cards. And I don't just say hopefully we'll have $3,200. It's already written into my plan. So as long as I follow my plan, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to pay that debt off. What is that dog doing? Anyway, the biggest thing that I've learned is that a budget isn't just writing down your bills. A budget is deciding where your money is going to go before you have the chance to spend it. You need to know what money's coming in, what absolutely has to go out, what debt you have, what do you need for everyday expenses, what are you doing with what's left over, and which paycheck is paying for what. That's why it is so important to write down the dates, the number date of the month of when each expense and bill comes out, so that you can plan those out in your week-to-week spending budget. That's really my whole system. Like, there's no spreadsheet, no fancy budgeting app, just a notebook, paper, and a plan. We're using this to work our way out of debt, so I'm going to keep sharing the real numbers and our progress as we go. If you're trying to pay off debt too, follow along. And comment budget if you want me to make another video showing exactly how I decide which credit card gets paid off first.